Hi everyone, my name is Matthew Moser. I'm a software engineer at Itemus, and in this video I'll be showing you how you can implement the security concept phase within pre-existing Taras, as well as how you will be able to go through the entirety of Clause 9 within the Secure tool as of version 24.1. So now we're in the version 24.1 of Secure, so let's go ahead and actually start to implement those Clause 9 features, such as our concept phase, to our pre-existing Tara. If I've worked in a previous Tara and I just want to add the concept phase to our model, all I need to do is right-click the solution and then select add concept phase to model. If you make a new project within 24.1, you will not have to do this step, but any pre-existing project, you will need to just do that. Right-click, add it to the model, and then it'll be present. If your model already has that concept phase added, when you right-click it, you won't be able to see it now, but when removed, the option will reappear. So let's go ahead and get started with our security concept phase. The way that you'll need to start it is by going to your risk treatment section and then selecting how you're going to treat the risks that are present. I went over this in a little bit more detail in the Clause 9 refresher video that comes first in this playlist, but I'll do a brief overview once again here. We're given 4 treatment options: reduce, avoid, accept, and share a transfer. Share transfer and acceptance are going to result in claims. Reduction is going to result in goals. Avoidance means that the risk within this particular item definition that we currently have is too great to be handled through any of the other options, and we're going to rework our item definition to just eliminate this risk outright. So in this case, tampering of new firmware. This isn't a great example. You would probably need firmware within whatever piece of product or part of a product you are creating, but we would then say that, okay, we're going to remove firmware from this particular section. Not a wonderful example, but it works for the sake of just demonstrating that the logic behind how the avoidance section would work. Now, we have sections for reduction, acceptance, share, transfer, so we're going to go ahead and actually flesh those out a bit more. Best way to start this would be to go to our assistants, in this case the requirements assistants. We'll select refresh so that it takes in everything from our model, and here we can see both assumptions and controls that we had present within our security analysis for this particular Tara. If you have controls present within your model as well as assumptions, you should just accept all of these so that they can be worked with. If you find that you're not using these later down the line, either the control itself isn't being implemented anymore, and you can either just leave it in your model for the sake of demonstrating, say, your control scenarios against one another, or you can just simply decide that, well, this one isn't being implemented, we're going to reset this, and then we can just reject it if needed. But for now, I'm going to keep all of these accepted. Then we go to our goal creation assistant, select refresh to make sure everything is taken in from our model. And we can see here that we have 2 risks that are being provided for the goal section. And the reason for this is just the logic that I stated earlier, is that anything that's labeled as treat via reduction, so in this case risk 3 and risk 9, that's going to result in a CS goal. So we can provide what requirements lead to this goal later on, but first let's go ahead and create these. Next section we have for claims. This is through the claim creation assistant. And it is the same logic that we had within the risk treatment section, but it's only looking at share or transfer and acceptance treat via options. Anything else will not appear within this assistant. So we can see all of our options here. We're gonna go ahead and apply all. Actually, for the sake of this demo, I'm really only going to focus on risk 10. The logic that follows from how I will complete risk 10 is going to operate the same for risk 4, 5, 6, and any other sort of claims that you'll have. So for this case, we'll just focus on creating one for risk 10 here. Then we have our claims, goals and claims assignment assistant. Here we're able to see the ways in which we're given smart goals and claim choices for the different requirements that we have within our model. Right now it's only looking at goals, and that's because my claim section I can fill out in a little bit more detail, and I will do that a bit later, but let's focus on the goals that we have here. I only want to focus on this denial of service on the cloud server, and I have two controls within here that are meant for this. So for now, I'll accept these. This particular goal is looking at other sorts of encryption options that I could implement to reduce the risk of information disclosure on the BT receiver. I'll ignore this for now and only focus on goal 1. Finally, we have our concept update assistant. This currently isn't doing anything, and that's because we don't have any concepts within our system. If we wanted to create those, we'll go to our concept chunk for concepts, create a new concept, and here we can find just a simple name, full system concept. Next, we have a section for the scope. With this, we're going to define the scope of this particular concept, and this could be a subsystem, the entire system, or even just a single component, data flow, channel, etc. within our product. I want this to show everything within our Tara model here, so I'm going to select it as system. And then under elements, if I would like to, I could manually enter these in. But if I wanted to make this a bit more of an automatic process, because I already just know that this scope aspect is correct, I can go to the concept update assistant, select refresh, and here we can see all of the relevant pieces of architecture. If I decided, for instance, that I only wanted this to focus on, and I believe it was just the cloud server I have things working for. So let's set it to the cloud server. When I refresh, goal 1 is the only thing that shows up because it is the only goal or claim within my Tara model at the moment that is relevant to the scope that I've defined within my concept. But for now, let's just set it back to system so that it takes in everything. And then we'll go ahead and accept all of our options here. Now, if I want to see a bit more information on these particular goals and claims, I can hold control and it will take me over to the goals or claims, and I can see, well, this claim, while it exists, there aren't any requirements. And this is something that we'll want to update. Typically, your claims are going to be handled via different assumptions. There may be cases with, say, a acceptance-based one where the risk is just inherent to the type of product that you have, that you might not have an assumption within your model, but 9 times out of 10 you will want some sort of assumption here to cover a claim-based requirement. And in this case, I'll implement this one, and it's just saying that a BT receiver will have adequate controls implemented by the third party in which we're acquiring the part from. This assumption can be found under our security analysis folder and for assumptions, and here we can see how it is affecting our impact level and feasibility level through it, what are the quote-unquote max values that will be applied to the risk itself. So it's going to be a negligible impact and a low feasibility at max values because of this assumption. So now we have our claim with its operational requirements attached, and we have our goals with their cybersecurity requirements via controls implemented within our model attached to them as well. This one doesn't because we decided within our assistant only to focus more so, and I'll open up this one, only focus on goal 1 in particular. And that's how we get all these elements within our concept. Now there is one extra bit of an item that is introduced by the add concept phase to model, and that's the security concept report. This just includes new elements that can be attached to a report, such as a requirements, goals, claims, and concepts table. It's really only meant to show that these items exist now within our model. And for instance, if we go to pre-existing report structures, I can go ahead and add a claims table here. And I can do so via the concept modeling tab here as well. This is just a quick little way to see that, oh yes, we do have new report items available to us, and you can go ahead and add those to your reports as much as you would like, and implement them in the same way that you would any other type of report item as you've done in the past. That about covers everything for the new Clause 9 concept phase integration with the secure tool. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave a comment below and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Or actually, a better way to get in touch with us would be to contact our Itemis Secure support email, and I'll be sure to leave that within the description as well. Thank you and have a nice day.